What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing back with a gem. I want to come on real quick and talk about a couple things. Number one, Devin Haney, his upcoming fight with Vasil Lomachenko. Big difference between Devin and Tank again. I've never heard Tank publicly come out and complain about his opponent not promoting their fight, which leads me to believe what I already knew. Ticket sales are slow. Pay-per-view numbers are slow. It's rumored that Bob Arum is going to lessen the price of the pay-per-view because of how slow it's selling. The reality is Devin Haney is just not a pay-per-view star. And neither is Vasil Lomachenko. But if Devin Haney was who he thought he was, he wouldn't be crying for Lomachenko to promote their fight. His name alone would be enough to sell the fight. But it's not. And you guys are the promoter of the fight, correct? Along with Top Rank, Devin Haney Promotions. I don't think Vasil Lomachenko Promotions is over the fight. So it's in fact you and your father's job to promote the fight, which I see you guys are having a very tough time in doing. Let this be a lesson to the younger fighters in the game. Just because your family has a couple dollars and you have some talent doesn't mean it's a good idea for you to handle your own business and be self-promoted, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. Because there's a lot to go along with becoming a superstar in boxing. And it's not just talent. It's also marketability and how you're packaged. A fighter is a commodity, and how the public receives them depends a great deal on how they're packaged and presented to the public. I've said for a long time, I don't think Devin Haney's being properly marketed or packaged. He doesn't have that knockout power that Deontays has, so he's never going to have that awe factor. But they promote him as if he does, which puts unreal expectations and puts him at an unfair advantage when it comes to the perception he receives from the public. They make statements like they beat the shit out of people, and their style doesn't really lend itself to beating the shit out of people. He outpoints people. There's a difference. Maybe he should use the term like he boxes people's ears off. That would fit him more. Or he outclasses people. That would be more fitting. But when you make statements that makes people think you're a killer, and then they go back and watch your fight and realize you're not a killer, it makes them grade you unfairly and maybe not appreciate the level of talent you have because it's poorly packaged. He has all 4 belts, and he's struggling with the fact that he's not the most popular fighter in his division. And, with having the belts, he feels like he should be. This isn't the first time this happened. Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson twice. Not once, but twice. And was the undisputed champion of the heavyweight division. But never eclipsed Mike Tyson as a star. Some people just have that it factor. And no matter your accomplishments, if you don't have it, you're not going to eclipse them in the eyes of the public. Boxing is entertainment. They're going to follow who's more entertaining. I suggest that Haney spend more time magnifying Devin's strengths and marketability than trying to tear down Tank for what they perceive as his weaknesses. Because it's not working. It's obviously not working. Again, you're getting ready to defend all 4 world titles in the division that he campaigns in 1 month after he fought in the very same city you're fighting in, and your fight is taking place in his overflow venue. That should tell you something. Instead of trying to tear that man down, you might want to look at what Leonard Ellerby, Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, Coach Calvin, look at what they've done with this young man and try to mimic it because they've done a great job in making this guy a superstar. And as it stands, your guy has all the titles, but he's not a star, which is why he's begging for Vasil Lomachenko to promote their fight because he can't promote it. He has a fight coming up that nobody's talking about. Nobody cares. Also, Canelo Alvarez fighting John Ryder this weekend. It's going to be a snoozer. Nobody cares. And Canelo takes exception. He just recently came out and said he took exception to Tank coming out and saying he's the face of boxing now. Well, unfortunately, Canelo, your upcoming fight this weekend kind of solidifies Tank's assertion that he's the face of boxing. Why? Who is talking about Canelo versus John Ryder? Nobody cares. Nobody knows you're fighting this weekend, and nobody cares. So Canelo, unfortunately, you are no longer the face of boxing. Why? Because the day before Gervonta Tank Davis's fight, a few weeks back, it was all over the place, all over YouTube, all over the sports networks. Everybody was talking about it, all over social media. Unfortunately, nobody's talking about you and John Ryder. So, I mean, it is what it is. Canelo, you've had a beautiful career. Your star power at one time was huge. Probably still is pretty big. But nobody remains that top dog, the face of boxing, for long. And when it comes to being that guy, it seems that your time has come and go. It's Gervonta Tank Davis time now. No need for sour grapes. You got to accept what it is. None of us are going to be at our peak forever. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.